Okay, welcome back. We're going to continue with our professional development session on the basics of using of what an SRS is and the basics of using the Qwizdom SRS. We took a survey, and by now you figured out that how you took the survey was actually by experiencing what a student would experience using the Qwizdom SRS. I asked you to consider your experience from a student and a teacher perspective and to brainstorm or discuss the three bulleted items with your peers. At this point, what I'd like you to do is we're going to create a visual to share out and then discuss your experience and the different ideas that you had. For each group, I'd like you to pick a scribe and then a speaker. It shouldn't be the same person. In your group, I'd like you to create a visual that represents your small group's conversation, your ideas about your experience using the Qwizdom system, the SRS, so far. You could do it in any way that you really want. It could be a picture, could be a web, a poster, or a T-chart. Just about anything would be fine with me. Remember, you should represent your thoughts from a student and teacher's perspective. You might want to do something to identify which are from which perspective. Anyhow, I'm going to pass out chart paper to all the groups, paper, and I will give you a moment. We're going to break out into our small groups, and you have about 10 minutes to create your visuals. When that's finished, I'd like you to hang the poster or whatever it is that you made on the wall in the large group room here, and we will share them out and discuss what we thought. Alright, at this point each group already has their visual taped on the wall in the LGI. You can take a look around and see everybody's work. We have some creative people in our group here, as expected with elementary teachers. Right now let's start with kindergarten, and I'd like the kindergarten elected speaker to explain their visual. We're not going to discuss it as they explain. We'll just watch and listen. After everyone's finished, we can ask some questions or we can discuss what they see. So right now we'll take about 1 minute per group to go ahead and present our visual that we created. Alright, after hearing everybody's thoughts on the presentations, let's brainstorm some themes that we heard. What were some things that we heard over and over or saw over and over in these visuals that we made? If we take a look around the room, we can see some things that keep showing up either from the student or teacher perspective. Okay, so I'd give you a moment to share what some of those themes are. And if we take a look at the board, these are some possibilities that you might have volunteered. Maybe some people thought it looked like it would be too much time or too much work on the teacher's end. Maybe they were excited about it. Maybe it created some excitement. Maybe they realized that it created some motivation. Maybe they noticed the different feedback opportunities that the teachers got, the instant feedback. They noticed the participation. Maybe people had questions or thoughts about the cost or the availability, maybe sharing of the systems throughout the school, how that would work. And then some other people, probably one of the biggest things they saw most common was the interaction, each person in the class interacting with the teacher. Okay, I will tell you, and we can go back to that slide for a second, I will tell you that each one of these bulleted items that we came up with, each of the themes, they will be addressed in one way or another throughout the professional development. Some of them will be presented very explicitly, which will be the focus of our professional development, while some of the others we might have to take some time to discuss or have some question and answer to talk about a little bit more. And some of the things we'll definitely have to brainstorm together how we can make some of these things work. So I'll look forward to that. But right now let's move along, and we're going to talk about what is an actual student response system. Okay, an SRS, as we learned in our survey, is something called a student response system. Sometimes they're called a class response system. Basically, it's a kind of technology that consists of hardware and some software. There's lots out there. Some are just software systems that are actually plug-ins on computers that you can just use our laptops or a smartphone or something like that to participate. Others have hardware involved too, like the Qwizdom system that we're using here today. The users of this student response system are the teachers and students, and I even put parents because that might be an idea of an application for using it. But basically anybody could be a participant here. Components, what makes up the student response system? Well, there's a teacher hub, a teacher remote, a projector, and the participant remotes, specifically with our Qwizdom system. Let's flash ahead real quick. Here's a visual so you can take a look. What you notice is we do have the teacher system that's connected to the projector, which is presenting or projecting onto a board. The teacher system is also connected by USB to a hub, and then that hub puts out a signal to the presenter remote, the teacher's remote, and then to the student remotes. And they're all interacting and connected. So the student remotes can send signals to the teacher remote, and then also everything that goes on between the two remotes is also recorded and can have the option of actually being displayed on by the projector. This is one great thing, is that 3 of these components we already have in our classrooms. We don't need to buy those already. Each one of our classrooms has a a teacher system, a MacBook Pro. We have a built-in projector in the ceiling, a digital projector. It's always connected. And then we also have our whiteboards or our pull-down screens in order to present. So the only extras that we have to bring into the classroom when we want to use this system, the Qwizdom system, is the receiver, the hub, the remotes for both the teacher and the students. All right, let's go back a slide. So you see here, those were the components. The basic activity, no matter what system you're using, it has like 3 steps, major steps. 1, the teacher presents the information, the question, or the survey. They put something out to the students. The students then use their remote to respond to the teacher. They answer the question, they complete the survey, they give some kind of response. The 3rd step is the teacher receives instant feedback from all of the participants. And in detail, the teacher system, the software system, also receives that feedback, and you can elect to whether you want to record it or not. So then you can go back later and generate reports and look at what students actually were responding after the fact. And as I mentioned, there are some different systems, but the Qwizdom system, along with these other systems that might be available, all have one common goal, and that's to make traditional classroom activities more engaging and interactive through the use of technology. So what are the benefits of an SRS, specifically Qwizdom here? Well, they combine the response system interactivity with customized presentations, formative and summative assessment opportunities, and then the option for reporting, creating reports from the information that you glean from the activities you do. One thing you'll notice is that it engages all students and maximizes participation. Traditionally, we present information, we ask a question, and 1, 2, maybe 3 students at a time are able to respond, to give an answer. Those students are put on the spot. They have to speak in front of peers when they might not be confident with the answer, and we really only get a feel for 1 or 2 students at a time. Now, as hard as we try, that's one of the challenges as an educator that we always seem to have, is getting the gaining an understanding of the comprehension of all students. We do a pretty good job with our go-to students, the ones who always have those hands up, but the students that fly under the radar, sometimes we don't know, are they getting it or are they not? But this, in SRS, actually inspires, motivates, and empowers all students to participate. So every single question, each student can chime in with their remote and express their understanding. And some of the students who might not ever volunteer to participate, you'll see getting excited about participating using the remote system. No one can see their answer. They don't know if they're right or wrong. Even if they get feedback on the remote that says check correct or X incorrect, it's feedback for them and for them only, and they're excited to get the right answer, and they really seem to try their best. The system itself is easy to learn for the teachers and also for the students. The students pick up on it quickly. The teachers, the more exposure and practice you have, the better. Another, as we said before, is the instant feedback that's given. This system in particular, Qwizdom, also allows students to discreetly ask for assistance. What I mean by that is, instead of raising your hand and kind of admitting to the class that you don't know the answer or you need help with something, as you're working to respond to an answer, the students can send a help request to the teacher discreetly. It shows up on the teacher remote, and the teacher sees that a particular student on their remote needs help, and they can go to them without having the student have to contact the teacher with the observation of the peers. This might be a little bit more of an issue with the upper grade levels, but it is a nice feature. And finally, there are interactive learning games that can be involved. Any lesson that you present or any information that you present basically can be turned into some 2 or 3 different interactive games, which is, I mean, if you think that just using the remotes is motivating for the students, the game mode, the competition, the fun with that just takes it to the next level. Let's move on.